Always loved how they started this, mixing in the casual Subaru out shopping with the flashes of urgency from the world he's going to soon be drawn into. That's definitely unique as far as isekai anime go. Subtle, non-in-your-face exposition about what Subaru is looking for in life right now. I'm a huge fan of anime not knocking me over the head with "God, I wish I had a girlfriend!" I don't know about you, but I always enjoyed the contrast at the start between this bright shop, lively music playing, and then the dark outdoors, leading to him being pulled into darkness and out the other end back into the light of a new world. I always found that oddly poetic. This transition is probably again one of the best I've ever seen. It's just very matter of fact. One minute he's on the street in Japan, and the next he rubs his eyes and he's there. One of the great things about Re:Zero has to be its adventurous look at angles. Before Re:Zero, the only anime I saw do much the same was maybe JoJo or Cowboy Bebop to an extent, as most anime stray from doing these kinds of shots since they're naturally tough to animate. Hey guys and Few Gals Squad, just wanted to remind everyone to hit that subscribe button. We're climbing up, but still around 60% of regular viewers aren't subscribed, so smash that button and hit the bell to ensure you don't miss out on everything great about Re:Zero's second half and much more coming soon. One of the many great examples of decent CGI we see in this, and they always do a fantastic job of blending it seamlessly into the hand-drawn world they create. First one here is for Subaru and his insanely unique personality. I know many people don't like him, I'm not in that group. In fact, between his outgoing style and great voice actor, I'm in the opposite camp, liking him as a main character. Secondly though, genuinely beautiful looking city-wide scenery shot, I mean that is stunning! I'm sorry, you just don't see stuff like this very often in anime. Beautiful animation over a city background is so difficult to achieve, and they do it a lot in Re:Zero. The first example of solid music in this, an official soundtrack I absolutely love, but more on that as we progress, and it comes alongside learning more of Subaru and his character in terms of how laid back he is by all of these new revelations unfolding before him. I always love that bit, but seriously, such a great voice actor as well, and you'll hear that a few times before we wrap up the season as a whole. He does an incredible job, and I'll point out the greatest examples. All Might! Getting our first look at what will end up being some of the best world building I've seen in any isekai anime. Its world building is great, but its lore as a whole is stunning and one I yearn to know more about. A first really good example of comedy, and next up will be another really good first example of something else, but I'll wait to reveal that. But ultimately, this anime beautifully manages to balance both of these elements, often significantly leaning into one or the other as it progresses on. I like her as a character in this, perfect voice actress too in my honest opinion, and her introduction is great, as is her other ones too. Rotating shot. A lot of the time anime can master one thing or another, but Re:Zero is a master of all trades in that regard, since it really doesn't have any weaknesses, as is demonstrated in this first instance of combat, and my word, the other instances coming down the line. Ooh, I can't wait to see them again! Can't show the kick obviously, but this right here prior to the kick is definitely a legendary out-of-nowhere blast of comedy to the eyeballs. And now we've reached that other element I mentioned in win number 14, that being its dark side. And as you all know, Re:Zero has one of the darkest dark sides you'll see outside of Berserk and such, and man, when they decide to lean in on it, you feel it hard. Other than these two elements of comedy and darkness, we'll see emotion, and of course I'll remind you of those great moments too. This may make me unpopular, but I like Emilia personally. I find her cute for starters and her voice actress is sublime, but rest assured, I also love Rem, so there's that too. Not only did that look fantastic, and let's all be real about that, but it's also the first instance of magic, one of my favourite elements of combat in this, especially how it's used later on in the huge battles and such. Man, seriously, ReZero is amazing. I forgot how much I love it, and I've seen it 4 times! I'm gonna be real for a moment, I adore Puck an unreasonable amount. Super totes adorbs, yet another great voice actor adar! That could legit be the Odar moment of this anime, and he's an insanely compelling character.
そっか、関係ないでしょ。死ぬほどじゃないもの。放っておくわよ。あなたの体の傷を治してあげたのも、目覚めるまでパックを枕にさせてあげたのも、私のためだったの。
負けに見ず知らずの俺に負い目を感じさせないように、下手くそすぎるフォローまでして。
Getting our first proper look at the personality behind the character of Emilia, these scenes are also interesting though because of how far she comes as a character over the course of the season, even as a mostly sidelined character due to the overall story arc.
せめて目が覚めるまで幸せに過ごさせてあげようという粋な計らいだよ。
Most anime don't actually do animated montages. A great example of anime that do though is ReZero, and another great one is Demon Slayer, which I've covered by the way. I'll drop a win here for this beautiful view and then drop subsequent wins for only the best of views, but basically this anime nails it when it comes to absolutely painstakingly superb citywide or scenery views.
そして僕はパック。よろしく。
Kawaii.
私はサテラ。
This first little twist, lie, and reveal of a much larger character in the anime, one that will no doubt come into play in a big way in season 2. Can't wait!
それよりどうして手伝ってくれたの？スバル反対してたのに。
This was a nicely added touch because she essentially calls him out on saying to not help the girl only to then do it, but it mainly boils down to him just wanting to spend time with her, but then not brushing that sudden change of heart under the rug and instead addressing it is very cool. Feels like this absolutely should be shouted out for just how different they made the night vibe in the poor part of the city. Tilted over buildings, holes in roofing, overgrown moss and a seedy mist, and then poor adults and children suspiciously watching the newcomers beautifully sets the tone.
パックがいなくても大丈夫。ここは進むしかない。だよね。
でもごめん、僕も限界だ。
Setting this unique rule for Puck, which allows for these two to continue on alone and eventually face their demise. It also keeps Puck back as a mystery until the big battle takes place, making it that much more awesome. Not only do I love this song, especially how it's used later on in such emotional scenes, but the scene itself is beyond beautiful, as we see the setting sun and the glow of these spirits envelop the area. It also feels to me like maybe one of the first times Subaru felt a real connection to Emilia as he watched her in awe. It's also worth noting that in the director's cut, he holds this gaze and the moment in general lasts several seconds longer than in the original, adding more of an emphasis to what I wrote before, really.
な発言に俺が傷つきつつも決意を新たにする展開だぜ。
そんなひどいこと私言わないわよ。
They so effortlessly create stunning animation like with the glow now of the night sky and their torch. First person perspective in the dark room being lit up by a torch like it's no big deal. One of the best early examples of ReZero diving in deep with its dark side. Obviously can't show it, but if you know me and you know the channel, you'll know I dig it. I really don't know if the light streaming through onto their hands means anything of significance other than looking good, but take a win for this, and for the absolutely mind-blowing reveal of his return by death ability, which I love!
どういうこと?
Rotating shot! This fight scene, just so smooth and excellently animated. You can't say much else, but having watched a few other anime recently for Anime Sins where the animation is nowhere near this caliber, it's great to be witnessing this again. I also must add I totally forgot that on one occasion he actually beat them.
じゃかましいわい。合図と合言葉も知らんで扉をぶっ壊す気か。
Old man Koseki from Dr. Stone, to save you time, that's the old ripped crafting dude, and here I'm just amazed by how he's like 85 when he did Dr. Stone and 81 when he did this, and yet he does such an awesome and funny job.
どこの世界でも金のあるやつとないやつがいるってことか。にしてもわかりやすいよな。
Dude, that's such an effective panning shot to show off what he's talking about. From the castle at the very top to the rundown slums where he's sat and everything in between.
ロンマジーといい勝負の凶悪な面してめめしいこと言ってんじゃねえよ。
今までいろんなこと言われてきたけど、このジジイといい勝負させるか？
I don't get how people dislike Subaru. I know he makes an odd choice later on, but man, I support him, and he's funny here, and I love this anime so much!
ここに取り出しましたるは万物の時間を凍結させる巻携帯だ。
I don't think I mentioned this earlier on as I was waiting for this moment and one later on to mention that I adore how the writer wrote into the story that he took these items with him. It allows for so much versatility later on, but I'll mention it once again in the second half and you already know where!
何のだか眩しいっつな。
待て待て。
これって。
わしとヘルトの顔じゃな。
Man, you know they're dedicated to going the extra mile when they illuminate Felt's eyes for this.
ミーティア？
魔法使いのようにゲートの開いていないものでも魔法が使えるようにできるという道具の総称。
Slyly introducing Meteor into the story, something which definitely isn't spoken about much beyond this and the next episode, and something I hope to learn more about as the world building continues into season 2.
付き合いも短くない。頼られてやるとするわい。なのでわしがフェルトを守ってやらねばならん。
Using this little exchange to build Rom's character, someone who sadly doesn't feature much in this season, but all the same it already lets us know that there's a lot more between them than being friends, like how she looks to him for protection and as being a grandfather of sorts. It's very sweet and it drives her later decision in order to keep him safe.
部外者が多い気がするのだけれど。
踏み倒されたら困るかな。私ら弱者なりの知恵だよ。
I can't say much other than that I hope her choice of clothing won't affect this video, but I gotta show a lot of her awesome scenes, and sadly that's her choice of clothing. But what's this wing for, I hear you yelling at your screen? Well, simply put, I like her design an unreasonable amount.
俺と同業ってことは無職ってことになるぜ。
で、その無職の
Genuinely thought I'd accidentally paused the video then, but no, they just skipped over his comment. It's only a small fix, but it's nice that they touched up this moment using some CGI to improve the effect and have the internal lighting reflect on the coins. That!
ああ、元の持ち主探して返すんだよ。何よ。
バカ死ぬ気か。
Cannot honestly tell you how nervously hyped I was for this scene the first time I saw it, as Subaru goes from laid back to incredibly anxious within seconds and is saved by Felt. The scene looks stunning too as the setting sun reflects on her blade, and then the battle kicks in as we witness the fight ensue with insanely great animation and visuals like these wooden fragments bursting off the second smash table. They can actually take another separate win here for this battle in how fantastic the effects are, environmental and others. For example, the shaking chandelier is a real nice addition to the scene.
反撃しなくても殺す気だろうか。このクソ異常者。
I gave a win for this in Vinland Saga, and they can definitely have one here for smeared blood effects. Most anime don't bother with that. Also, go watch everything great about Vinland Saga if you haven't. Great anime, and I think I did it justice too.
俺は。
風の加護。
Ah, I so took this for granted the first few times I saw it. That imagery is outstanding. For those who've seen my many JoJo videos on this channel, you know I really dig it when anime go for a different perspective. First person views, rotating shots, suddenly we're above the battle or below it. You know what I mean, and ReZero, let's admit, excels at this. Even though it's ultimately for nothing since he failed to dodge 100%, it's still awesome in how this shows us a lot about Subaru. He stood up to face a foe he knew he couldn't beat. He charged at her. He planned a counterattack and it actually hit. It goes to prove that he's stubborn and brave. Sometimes a main character will be super brave even when injured. It's very cool but very unrealistic. One of the things I always enjoyed of Subaru's tale is that it's full of genuine pain and agony. That's physically and emotionally and mentally speaking. And the voice actor portrays the very real human emotions each time excellently. Also though, this scene equally paints her in a truly disturbing light as she enjoys watching the experience unfold before her, wishing for it to go slowly. She's awful and yet insanely attractive. It's difficult for me. I feel like dropping one extra here. I enjoy the visuals as we glance from eye to eye, but also because it drops the twist that she lied about her name and introduces the title, The Jealous Witch, to interest the viewer right near the end. Okay, so there shouldn't be any surprise here. I love this OP, but mainly because I loved the song literally since I first heard it years ago. I just think it's great. The visuals are awesome though, and I'm glad to see in this version they changed the text from a glitch effect to just normal text. Not that I can read Japanese, but at least they can read it easier. But yeah, overall, I love it. Smooth as butter, unique as heck, and awesome all around. The moment they changed this group of ruffians, who are bad guys but almost have some comedy value before now, into stone cold killers. Again, not shying away from demonstrating the anime's dark sides. Not only is All Might just incredible, love that dude as always, but here we get Subaru's first demonstration of resilience in this new world, and although that same world will chip away at him, bringing him to the depths of despair, in spite of this, he keeps going, getting back up again. He's actually an insanely resilient character. I know I said I'd drop wins for the very best of scenery shots, but let's actually drop one in general for them as a whole. So like an extra basically. There's so many of them, I can't point them all out, but they deserve it for building the world and the scene so well. Man, I love subtle, or maybe not quite so subtle imagery, but basically him building a picture of what he feels he must do from the things people are saying and doing around him, like this, and the old man at the store saying he doesn't want to get involved in his problems, like he could have done with Amelia. They really didn't have to show the wall and the damage and that it's melted away or maybe now just disappeared in general, but they did it anyway. I have no idea why, but every time he yells like the last two times I've noted, it really makes me laugh. So firstly, take a separate win here because I genuinely love Reinhard in this as a character. I think he's unbelievably cool, but also what I found truly unique about him is how kind he is too. Okay, secondly, it's because Reinhard is our very own Sakasa from Dr. Stone, Hawks from My Hero Academia, and best of all for me is Bucciolati from JoJo's Golden Wind.
向こうも3対2になって優位性を確保できなくなってのことだ。僕一人じゃこうはいかなかった。
なんだこの爽やか指数。
This second encounter, but third officially, given he never saw his attacker the first time and learning more about this lovely, lovely lady. I also like how it's starting to build Subaru as being quite a prideful person, like here he's trying to hide his fear and anger, but allowing us to see him give a deep sigh of relief at the end. On top of this, the director and animators made a few changes in the second half that I'll point out as well, to change a fearful looking Subaru to a furious one to be more in keeping with what I just wrote. So as you know, some anime are like Dragon Ball Super. They repeat about 3 to 5 attacking motions over and over again to create a fast-paced fight. They kind of have to do that though due to time constraints. Then you get anime like Cowboy Bebop, Re:Zero, Demon Slayer and many others that do incredibly high quality, smooth and consistent animation in their fights. I just feel praise must be given for that. Oh, that so gets one. They even take the sun's rays into account.
強く生きろよ。
貧民街だとみんなそれ言うんだけど。
あいつらみんな口だけで強くもなんともね。少年のしみったれた人生の負け犬どもだよ。目標にでっかく近づくのは間違いねえよ。私一人なら無理すりゃやってけねえこともねえだろうけど。
Always good at building characters, this one. They use the phrase of live strong to nicely kickstart her character building and general development to a smaller degree, showcasing her feisty and strong-willed side.
いい加減にしろっつーの。
This cute moment that ends in comedy due to him rubbing her head too long, it's a nice realistic event, especially since she warned him 3 times, and they don't just fade the scene away, but instead again show the elements of her I just listed in that irritated bite.
殺されるぞ。
This fear in him as he says this to her is very much true to life. They're not painting him as someone overjoyed by his return by death ability, happy to make use of it to solve any small inconvenience in his path, but instead he's clearly afraid of the pain and process involved.
殺すとかそんなおっかないことをいきなりしたりしないわよ。
Emergency plot twist!
私からの要求は一つ。
Oh, that's so well done!
どういうこと？あなたたち仲間なんじゃないの？
Dude, that's seriously such a nice touch and once again done in a totally non-exposition way.
あんた何なんだよ。
パク、防げ。
I still love this moment!
俺にとっての理不尽はつまりお前でこの状況でチャンネルはそのままでどうぞ。はい。
That fourth wall be breaking, boys!
紹介もしてなかったねお嬢さん。僕の名前はパック。名前だけでも覚えて言ってね。
It's the start of the fight and Puck's fighting everyone. Calm down! Ugh, that animation and CGI mix.
ね、それにしても不憫なくらい強いもんだね君は。精霊に褒められるなんて恐れ多いことだわ。
If this doesn't get its own win, I don't understand what you want from me.
おやすみ。
Puck is awesome, Emilia is great, and so was that attack. I tell you guys and gals, to me this is amazing, especially with the moving shield and weapon while doing a rotation. Outside of looking awesome though is the fact that this and the music work together to really add tension.
行くぞ。
あら、ダンスに横入りなんて無粋じゃないかしら。
そんなに踊りたければ最高のダンスを踊らせてやるな。なんじゃそら。
This attack against the previously named Emilia the Great and Old Man Ron getting involved with his old man strength and all around general awesomeness.
行かせると思う？
God, I loved Subaru in this moment with his super quick thinking and reflexes. I once again must add, I know people love Rem, I love her too. I even named a gerbil after her, and her sister was called Ram, the gerbil, but in the anime too. Anyway, I can understand why he loved Emilia, and moments like these shouldn't be overlooked where the writer is building their relationship through scenes like this.
あなたが先に絡め取られるのは間違いないのだけれど。はい、掴んだ。
Okay, so basically this battle is so good and I have no idea how I'm going to cover the whole whale battle in the second half without having a 2-hour long video, but let's drop one more win for this battle and then we'll go again from my boy turning up.
舞台の幕を引くとしようか。
Apparently some people didn't like this when it aired. I personally freaking loved it. Bocciolati!
黒髪に黒い装束、そして北国特有の刀剣。それだけ特徴があれば見間違えたりはしない。
On top of this amazing music starting, which is one of my favourite tracks, is this little drop of world building they sneak in about her blade being unique to the northern provinces, which would be kind of meaningless if it wasn't for the fact that the writer has made an effort to info drop numerous times in this series, and I have no doubt a lot of what's been said but not introduced yet will occur in the second season. I forgot about that, dude. That's so cool! 15 seconds of absolutely glorious Reinhard-related levels of pure awesomeness.
牽制の家系ラインハルト・バン・アストレア。
And here we have it, one of the greatest moments of the anime for me, and the first of many maximum 2-win awards, and please do keep in mind that is the maximum, and this scene gets it. It's stunning, and that music and the sword sound effects makes all the difference between taking it from being great to utterly brilliant.
偉い
次は
この子はまた邪魔を。
そこまでだエルザ。
Subaru saving Emilia, and I actually censored this moment on the Sins version 4 years ago, and then found out that wasn't an awful throw, but instead his divine protection, so take a win!
私の名前はエミリア。ただのエミリアよ。ありがとうスバル、私を助けてくれて。
Subaru being Boobaroo. That makes no sense, but I literally say it a lot in real life and it makes me chuckle. But after that, seeing Emilia in this light is where they're again adding Emilia Love logs to the already burning Emilia Love fire.
What?
Near end of episode, emergency unexpected injury related plot twist!
なんてことだ。君の名前は？
フェルトと。
仮名は？年齢はいくつだい？
Dropping this second end of episode plot twist was such a plot twist it had me hyped for the following episode. They really do a great job drawing you in to make you want to see the next episode.
落ち着いて月を見られるのは今日が最後かもしれないな。
And that ends up being incredibly true. They also changed that a little from the original 2, I think. Perhaps to add more credence to his statement, which like I said is beyond true since from here there's never really any real period of calm that lasts a while again. So originally I thought there wasn't actually D, maybe I misremembered, but this one still gets a win and it's purely for that song. Seriously, ReZero's official soundtrack is one of my top 10, maybe even top 5.
なんて心の底から腹立たしいやつなのかしら。
第一村人発見。
Our first introductions to Beatrice and her odd but very cute way of finishing sentences, but for me the best part about her is how unexpectedly strong she is, and also as we'll see later, oddly kind she can be.
さっきからステレオチックに俺を責める君ら誰よ。バカな。
Ram and ram ba banana.
俺の真似してやってみよう。ラジオ体操の真髄を叩き込んじゃるぜ。
I must admit, I forgot she did it alongside him here, and they also keep on adding those love logs to the love fire. It be burning!
耳やっばいな。もう俺はお前のふわふわっぷりメロメロだよ。
おったまげたでしょ。
They could have just made these walls a plain solid colour, but instead went for this beautiful artwork. Nazite, because they're legends!
久々に私と食事を一緒にしてくれる気になったとは嬉しいじゃないの。
Dio? It's my boy Dio from JoJo. You all know him, you love him. Take a win, and not only for being Dio, but my word, he's great in that vocal range for this character. Love the guy.
姉様は料理があまり得意ではないので。
ははん、双子で得意スキルが違うパターンだ。じゃあレムリンは料理系得意だけど掃除と洗濯は苦手か。
いえ、レムは基本的に家事全般が得意です。
Touching already on the subject of Rem being good at everything over Ram, which nicely leads to fantastic character building later on, which obviously we'll go over. Doing an awesome job of dropping world building information, sometimes you have to do it this way as well, with a little bit of exposition, because it's such a large world with such a large history to it.
俺をこの屋敷で雇ってくれ。
Unexpected plot twist and the sneeze to break the silence. Another great example of animated montages and nicely mixing in humour as well as he continuously injures himself. Just love that dedication as so many others would have chosen still images over music.
私の立場としては邪魔するべきなんだろうけどね。
I swear this scene's lines were rewritten, since I'm sure he initially never made any mention of any direct threats to Subaru. But all jokes aside, he definitely does threaten here, and the overall hostility towards him over the course of the weeks makes total sense, while also adding a mystery element to their interactions. By this stage, all I've got to mention are love logs and that love fire burning brighter. The writer did his part, we all just love Rem too much really. Or you know what? Maybe we love her just the right amount. That sounded oddly, unintentionally poetic.
だけ楽しんでずれ。まあ俺は今機嫌がいいから許すけど。
ベティには関係のないことかしら。
Nicely dropping in a confusing statement, which will soon make sense in a few episodes' time. I had actually forgot that she mentions that. Noise!
いやお客様って。二人とも冗談きつい。キスがない。
This amazing, usually end of episode plot twist as he realises he died during the night and awoke the previous morning, leaving such a great mystery in the air.
すまねえ。少しだけ いさせてくれ。
The first instance of Subaru's mental state coming under attack a bit, although it serves to show him as human for the first time, suffering under the mystery of what happened to him and losing his promise with the woman he loves.
どうしたの？私の顔何かついてる？
かわいい目と耳と鼻と口がついてるよ。
天国か。
騒がしいわバルス。もう夜なんだから静かにしなさい。
おひょい。
まずは基本のイ文字から。ロ文字とハ文字はイ文字が完璧になってから。
3種類もあんのが。
All but starting to create an actual written language is insane. Like, actual thought was given to this, and it goes further than any other isekai I think I've ever watched. Also, I wasn't sure where this win would fit, but I'm dropping one here for how the world seems to exist with Subaru in it, not for Subaru. He has major troubles fitting in every facet of their world, and they frequently call him out on it. Again, like the previous win, when I compare this to every other isekai anime I've seen, it's entirely unique. Don't even know why, but I always liked her falling asleep on his bed. It's just so different to his first 24 odd hours in the mansion. It's like she felt comfortable around him this time.
髪が気になるからさっきからずっとバルスを見つめてるんでしょ。はい、そうです。
Once again, ReZero loves dropping in these little hints now and again, like how Ren was clearly watching Subaru with ill intent only to act on it later, but it's covered up by mentioning his messy hair. All of this is such a cool way of throwing people off the scent of who ended him after this episode and why, leading to a bigger payoff down the road. Beautiful outside of the city type scenery shot. The first logs of love being thrown onto the Rem fire. Just sadly it doesn't burn quite as bright as everyone would like, but when you take into consideration what she does to him, it starts to make a lot more sense. Other than that, it's a lovely scene, especially at the end where she smiles genuinely, but that just makes the end reveal all the harder to swallow, since it makes her seem so cold-hearted after everything that happened here. But in her defense, and many forget this, it's due to him stinking of the witch more and more.
それじゃあ今日スバルはレムとデートをしてきたのね。
予想外の切り返し。同感でお願いします。
I swear, spending the time to end this episode in humour before what happens was such a clever twist, again chipping away at his mental state in the worst of ways, making him a really endearing character to me. They can take a win here. I thought they randomly didn't do an actual animated ED, but they did, and it's awesome, and I love the song and the visuals are great. Yet again, a great tension building track as Subaru worries himself and thus the viewer as to what exactly the heck could actually be wrong with our boy. So I can't finish the episode here on YouTube, but safe to say, as you know, it ends with someone taking out Subaru in an incredibly nasty way, and by adding in this part, it adds even more confusion the first time you watch it. Why was he sick? What made him sick? Was it someone in the mansion? And who did away with him? Also a nice extra touch at the very end as they added an eyeball rolling away in the director's cut.
また戻ってきちまった。いや、戻ってこれだと言うべきか。
Also in line with my previous win, it's such a nice touch having these two cowering in fear of his morning outburst having just returned again, since it paints them both in an innocent light. I feel like credit should be given in general really for adding this whodunit mystery to the mansion arc, one a lot of people say is the weakest arc.
ご迷惑をおかけしました。夏木スバル再始動します。
Having Subaru fake how okay he actually is initially makes him seem less human. That is until they pull the rug out from under us as he breaks down later on. I just think the twist is a great one and makes his personality seem more consistent and realistic overall.
出ていく
え
That! Puck showing Subaru scene.
のよ。開始パーン。シュシュシュシュシュシュシュシュシュ。
I love Puck so much, here anyway, that I actually cannot help but drop a win for the insane levels of cuteness. It hurts me. Help!
俺を食客としてこの屋敷でくっちゃね放題させてくれ。
Totally forgot that this happens, but they beat the first two since they have everyone stare at her, probably considering it's quite rude and true to life. Further world building as we're told of curses, shamans, and even learning the name of the northern nation of Gustico, and so on. Also, it's genuinely nice that she helps him out here, and even more so later on, but we'll get to that soon.
直しがいのないやつは失せるかしら。
And round two. Although you'd think he would really pack it in given that it's happened to him before and she does nasty stuff to him all the time. Although having said that, you could easily argue that's all part of his resistant personality right now.
と気安くと最初に言ったのはお客様の方でしょ。 ラムはご要望に応えただけよ。
Always loved this scene with her being more comfortable around him again, and oh, look at her shaking her legs, bless her heart.
なんなら話して聞かせようか。
じゃ、ご清聴願おうか。
Ooh, now that's a nice change. It adds a lot more impact in this version since both of them clearly pause a lot longer than in the original where he pretty much immediately answers. Just adds more weight to it meaning something to her. Also, they add a couple more moments of briefly longer silence near the end too.
それはあの日から訪ねてこなくなった青鬼のことでした。
It's such a nice simple little touch, but her hand briefly shaking as he mentions the break between the red and blue ogre is telling. Do you guys and gals think this is a reference to Rem and Ram in any meaningful way beyond the obvious? Just curious, because obviously Ram is harder to deal with in the equation, but Rem definitely sacrifices a lot, knowing she won't get anything in return, at least later on anyway. Let me know your thoughts down below. All the same, a lovely scene though, finally building Ram's character a little more.
王族と竜の盟約だなんて書いてあったし、これはおとぎ話ってより昔話だよな。
今も尊きドラゴンはこの国の安寧を遥か遠方大幕府の彼方より見守っている。
Don't think I've properly mentioned it until now, but my word, ReZero spends a lot of time subtly building its world, and I honestly think there are a few isekai that you can delve into more than this one with its wealth of characters, the background of those characters, different nations, and mystical elements such as the witch, the dragon, and I could go on and on. Just basically, I love it when a writer invests so much in creating the world at least. It's why I'm a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings too.
よし、ここだ。特にエミリアの部屋がよく見える。
Oh, you definitely getting one for those two views, you sassy so-and-so. And at last we get the most epic reveal that it was none other than our lovely Rem. How could you do it to us? But seriously, this scene is still amazing today, and that battle music is another of my favourites. Also, kudos to Subaru for his rope escape plan, using his jacket to dodge the second attack. Shows he uses his head to strategize pretty nicely. This is yet another slightly more significant change to the scene as Subaru's escape and shoving down of Rem is more swift and thus impactful, leading to a more desperate escape for his life. It was slower in the original.
あなたはエミリア様に敵対する候補者の陣営の方ですか？
俺の心はいつでもエミリアだの。
Man, it's still genuinely hard for me to watch this. Incredibly emotional sequence. It brought tears to my eyes back in the day with that beautiful and soulful music playing as well, which when used later on always gets me going after the whale event is finished. You know the one!
そんなに魔女の匂いを漂わせて無関係だなんて白々しいにも限度がありますよ。
Not only does Rem belt out a heck of a performance here and it matches the animation perfectly, but it begins the process to unravel the tale of the two sisters and what happened to them growing up, justifying this hatred.
野菜の皮剥くときに手切らなくなったよ。歯磨き簡単なやつだけどできるようになったんだ。約束守って勉強してた。
なんで覚えてねえんだよ。お前らどうしてそんなに俺を憎むんだよ。
Okay, well I definitely spoke too soon on the whole tear front. Wow, that is for me flat out one of the most powerful vocal performances I've ever heard in any anime. Like, even his voice is squeaking from shouting while crying, and it's utterly, incredibly boosted by that music as well. Take another maximum of 2 wins here, this has to deserve it.
エミリア、俺は今まで何度も死にならねえ。
God, I love this moment, wonderfully sealing away the potential plot hole of why doesn't he just tell them what's happening, and doing so in a mysterious and intriguing fashion. Dropping in the scent of the witch to the story was to me a stroke of genius, since it forced Subaru to be more careful with his lives. It adds a repercussion to starting over and over again, and also adds additional points of intrigue about how and why it happens.
ベアトリスの名において契約はここに結ばれる。お前のわけのわからない頼み聞いてやるかしら。
Beatrice doing the first nice thing I mentioned a while ago, culminating in some great scenes of her using her magic to protect him and making us feel like she actually does care to some degree, but more on that soon. Man, oh man, that scream from Ram just sends shivers down my spine. It's like there's so many great voice actors in this anime, it's insane. Plus it leads to yet another mystery element, one of the last of the mansion arc, and one of the most interesting when you take into account that it's seemingly been Rem doing away with him each time up until now, and this time something did it to her.
何か知っているなら洗いざらいぶちまけなさい。
待てラム、それは。
Between the music, the accusations, and the incredible magic effects, both visible wise and sound effects wise, this scene is utterly incredible!
しかし君が身を張って守るほどとはよっぽど彼が気に入ったのかな。
全部どうでもいいのよ。邪魔しないで。
It gets so intense as Lord Dio then pulls out his extremely strong magic. I love it so much!
ごめん。
So firstly, I adore how this shows his mental decline during this second half of the episode. He goes from his happy-go-lucky usual self to utter depression, and it's only the first part of the roller coaster that is his mental state in this new world. On top of that, man, the end of that Mexican standoff is so awesome!
ボディーガードは今日の朝までって話だったはずだが。
期限の話をした覚えはないのよ。せめて目の届かないところで死んでくれないと夢見が悪いかしら。
And this is what I mentioned before about her unusual kindness, since she clearly did discuss a time limit of the 5th day. No matter how you look at it, she knew he was innocent and fought to protect him, even outside the castle. Also, that phrase at the end definitely doesn't sound like a joke, but a real statement from her. It's so amazing how, with the revelation that they supported him through his nightmare, that he goes from genuinely thinking about taking the plunge for himself to doing it for them to protect them both. It's made an even more important decision when you factor in that he wasn't even sure if he could be restored a 4th time. Love the end of this episode as he decides to live to protect them and the experiences they've had together so far, to try and do things right once again. It's fantastic how it ends with his statement of "I'll save you" as well. Just great.
間違ってなかった。
いいえお客様、何もかもが間違っていると思います。
This bit.
体の中にあるマナを通す門のことだよ。ゲートを通じてマナを取り込み、ゲートを通じてマナを放出する。
Even though they don't go into too much detail by this stage about gates and magic users and their abilities and such, they still open the door to yet another interesting avenue about how different types of magic are used.
シャマク。どう？今のがシャマクだよ。
大丈夫？
大丈夫。
The visual representation of dark magic as shown by Puck, and how it's eerily similar to what the Jealous Witch has done to him, causing a flashback of sorts and further weakening his barely healed mental situation. It's from this point on he goes on yet another roller coaster of emotions as he overexerts himself and stresses to try and feign being okay.
あれ？困ったな。ちょっと急にゲート。
Puck's reaction just prior to his gate exploding with mana was just one of the best things ever. That's right, ReZero, casually drop yet more insanely interesting parts of your story's history like it's no big deal. I want to know more!
たりして夜更かしさんとか、どうせ夜遅くまで好きな子の話とかで盛り上がってたんだろう。
Subaru's over-the-top attempt at being even more normal than usual and even more likable or friendly than normal is shown here via the voice actor's insane ability to read lines twice as fast as I can and leads to his eventual breakdown as everyone around him notices his confused mind. Whoo! Beat that!
すげえ怖かった。めちゃくちゃ悲しかった。死ぬかと思うくらい痛かったんだよ。
Ah, man. Such a nice and sweet scene as he lets it all out finally after letting it build up so badly. Also, it's an extra nice scene since the vocals are actually sung by Emilia's voice actress. Barbarossa-sama figuring out the origins of the curse and how to counteract it in what turns out to be a most excellent series of events. Ah, I can't wait. Plus, he swings her around and gets knocked to the ground. Talking about before how Subaru uses his noggin sometimes, this is yet another great example, ensuring all of the villagers touch him in different areas in order to pinpoint the location of the curse. That's genius stuff.
では留守中任せたよ。
飛べるのかよ。
Not only did they animate that super smoothly, but it also added yet another magic element to the anime's already bursting set of magic, that being that people can friggin' fly, dude!
エミリアがショックを受けるとパックにもダメージがいく。そして未然に防げたはずのお前の立場やいかに。
You just gotta love how he goes about convincing her to help by making use of her love for Puck half the time.
黒いもや。
今は知ったらないかしら。
まさかあの子犬が。
The brilliant reveal that it was the pupster, which then leads naturally to the following mission, to save the children of the village you've all been interacting with this whole time. It just flows really nicely here. Jeez, they don't enough create scenes that make Emilia look nice as Subaru goes off with Rem with haste to the village. It's also a great scene since it's the first time Rem and Ram begin to show a tiny bit of trust in him.
行こう。俺たちでどうにかしてやるしかない。
どうしてそこまでスバル君とこの村にどれほど関係が。
Even here it's fantastic because Rem is clearly torn but still actively probing Subaru's choices in the past day to see if he's trustworthy. It's just his fantastic answer here which convinces her.
魔女の残り神。そうだろ。
スバル君はどこまで知って。
お前が俺に聞きたいことがあるみたいに、俺もお前に聞きたいことがいっぱいある。だから全部片付いたら話そう。
Finally gaining Rem's trust just has to equal a win, and I always thought how he did it was very clever, being open and honest, as much as he could without getting his heart grabbed anyway. It's just nice seeing them finally turn this corner and starting to build a relationship together.
女の子にその言葉はどうかと思いますよ。スバル君。
Got to avoid showing it, but Rem smashing the enemy is glorious to witness. Man, such a powerful moment that she saves him. The first truly selfless action she takes purely for his benefit. It's amazing. Rem turning into crazy horned Rem and going absolutely bonkers. Subaru being a massive hero Baru and Super... I'm laughing at my own joke. Subaru being a massive hero Baru and saving Rem in pretty much the exact same fashion, thus solidifying the start of their friendship and something more, sometimes, but not quite annoyingly. Also super nice touch changing the ED to a slightly different slower version, more in keeping with what just occurred.
スバルの判断は大正解だったよ。パチパチパチ。
That is stupidly adorable, just saying.
森で魔獣の群れにやられた時、追加でごっそり植え付けられているのよ。
This for me was the start of a truly interesting part of ReZero, where we learn just how strong the enemy is in general, how weak and fragile society is against their foe, and I guess it's very clever to hold back characters like Reinhardt during this season in order to give weight to that assessment, so bear with me, but here we learn how easily the enemy was able to curse him, how many of them there were right outside the village, how easily they broke the barrier. But then beyond this, there's entire areas off limits due to the whale, huge stretches of road easily attacked by Petal Goose and his men later on. Basically, I'm saying this world is dark and full of danger, and they bring that across super well.
ああ、素敵なやつをな。
こいつを持っていけ。
お前たち、目が覚めたのか。
どこ行くの？また森に入るの？出口！エムリーにもお礼言いたいから後で連れてきてね。
That transition, plus the awesome music and the human element of what he achieved in saving those kids as he goes off to save Rem. Plus, a minute later, we see a moment of the kids accepting Ram and her sister too, which is nice since before Subaru arrived, they had no real meaning to one another. Ram showing off how she's also awesome when it comes to battles.
元来、鬼族は2本の角を持っている。けれど、双子はその角を最初から1本欠損して生まれてくる。生まれた直後に処分されるのが習わしい。でもラムたちは生かされた。
Again, it's just so nice how they don't just say demons are a race in this anime, but instead we learn so much more information about them. Like the writer had to take time and flesh it all out, and I just appreciate the work put in. My goodness, that was sweet and rather cute. How about that entrance though?
俺でも時に仲良く、時に仲良く。
Adding tears in his eyes after taking a nasty cut from her weapon is a nice added touch. Like I've said before, they're not attempting to make him seem a superhero, he still gets hurt like everyone else. I wish I could show more, but let's drop a win in general for Rem's whole fight. It's animated to such a high standard as well, just a shame she feels the need to slice and dice so often. That was incredible, and how about that voice acting by her as well, goodness me! Absolutely stunning animation! Some beautiful animation and mixed in CGI at the start of this Rem and Ram focused flashback. Then we get these few minutes, learning more about how Rem came to suffer from her current situation and how she feels second best all of the time and like she can never make up for what happened as a child. They nicely tell the story of intense pressure put on her to perform like Ram could, and how some demons felt it would have been better if Ram had been born alone. Then her utter guilt at the relief of Ram losing her horn. The story is just really well told.
Rem, 無事でよかった。
Really wish I could show more, but it's quite a gruesome scene as the village is on fire as a result of the sudden attack by the cult, and then the awful moment a slightly distracted Ram forever loses her horn. It's just brilliant, really. Super emotional too, how they did it with that music, no less.
やっと折れてくれた。
I must say I totally forgot this moment occurs as we learn way more about how Rem's mind works after the tragedy, how she struggles mentally with everyone and tries so hard, and even questions why she should still even go on with life. It really puts her character into perspective.
一人で考えるんじゃなく、いろいろと周りを頼れって話だ。
スバル君。
Oh, it's such a sweet moment, dude. That point where she starts to transition from potential budding friendship to actually starting to feel that she could fall for him. That slow gain of trust is outstandingly well done in my eyes. To go from her hunting him over a period of weeks to then get to this stage is nuts. Bless her heart! Once again, proof of Subaru's ability to think on his feet and strategize. What a legend! You go, you!
ずいぶんひどいありさまだね。
Rosdio-sama III arriving just in time with some awesome magic and nicely matches the names used by attackers against the whale later on too. Bless her heart! Bless her heart! I may well be wrong, but do you guys and gals think this is a picture of the village? I mention it since the roofing looks similar, and there's a wall with an entranceway like I think we see later on perhaps. Either way, I guess the main win is because most anime you'll notice picture frames are empty, and I love the dedication to filling them with more than just odd shapes like in 7 Deadly Sins Season 1. And another great anime for this is Cowboy Bebop. Watch those videos to see what I'm talking about. Like seriously, they're great videos. Also, nice bit of symbolism under the picture too. On top of Boo-Raru saying nice stuff to go ahead and make Rem's entire day or even life much better is the fact that they nicely changed the writing on his cast, since originally it didn't look too great. Jesus, is there any way you lot out there didn't at least start your Rem love fire at this point? And I don't blame you. It's lovely, isn't it?
私の目的のために竜を殺す。その日のために。
Let's be honest, it's a bit of exposition, but goodness me, it's the very best kind, as we learn a nice bit of mystery regarding the dragon and Dio Wall's relationship with it. Oh, I can't wait for Season 2 to find out more.
お帰りなさいませ。ただいま屋敷の前を失礼させていただいております。
Okay, so 2 separate wins right here. Firstly, I love this dude. He's such an awesome character in this, and does amazing things, and is involved in amazing scenes. Secondly, though, his voice actor did multiple voices for Hunter x Hunter, my favourite being the simply awesome Ikalgo. To save you googling it, he's the squid dude.
さんは奥さんは世界一可愛いかもしれない。
妻はなるほど。あなたの言う通りだ。
The memory's flooding back into my mind. Oh, it's so good and I forgot it's mentioned here.
こちらの方が 老骨の話し相手になってくださいましたので。
I'm betting there's a whole group of you out there with metaphorical burning torches that wouldn't be happy at me not dropping a win for the existence of Felix.
スバルくんかわいい。
異世界最高。お久しぶりです。その後お変わりはありませんか?
So this dude has one of my favourite voice actors behind him. He's also done the voice of the guy with the wires in the slime anime, but most of all he did Takeo in Monogatari, one of my favourite anime, so take a win!
その格好でカレーうどん食べるのは汁が跳ねたら目立つからやめた方がいいぜ。
That reaction and art style changed though!
訂正せい。3対2ではなく3対1対1じゃ。
お前ちょっと黙っててくれる?
Now this girl puts me in a weird position and hopefully you mad lads will understand. I like her, but I also intensively dislike her at the same time. I'm sure you can figure it out.
久々に見かけたと思えば、お前さん何をやっとるんじゃ。
ロムジー!
I still love old man Rom an unreasonable amount. He's such a cool dude. He deserves one more win right here before he gets his win for being a cool old grandpa in the second half.
ジョーちゃんの連れかなりネジ飛んでんな。再会の喜びより泥棒猫の心配とか男心複雑すぎて見ててワクワクすんや。
Al is actually a super interesting character in this. Firstly, he's voiced by none other than the amazingly talented Kaiji Fujiwara, who passed away last month. And even talking about it now makes me genuinely sad, since he voiced Leorio in Hunter x Hunter and Senku's father in Dr. Stone. If you haven't watched my video on it, be sure to. But also as a character, there's something huge about him that anime-only fans don't know yet, and I won't spoil of course, but watch this space in Season 2.
今からレムは急な思いつきでリンガを使った新しい料理の開発に入りますと、誰かが部屋を抜け出したりしても気づけない可能性が高いです。
Ren being a true broette and helping Subaru track down Amelia, which he absolutely shouldn't do given his promise and all, but heck yeah he should, because then we won't get all the goodness coming soon.
リンガ係ですか。
そうじゃ。わらわに赤く甘酸っぱいリンガを献上することを。
In terms of world building, this episode beyond excels, as we're treated with sights of the inside of the castle itself and what its soldiers look like, and of course everything coming in a moment.
絶対に後でちゃんとお話しするからね。
This music. Oh, this music is so good. I love it, and it only gets better. Plus, we get this first view of all of the potential new queens who could end up ruling, and everyone involved with each of them, and the people currently ruling in the king's absence. It's like Game of Thrones levels of intricate details.
竜の巫女、王の候補者、最後の5人目。見つかりましてございます。自分が王として仰ぐお方、名をフェルト様と申します。
Plot twist! And yet another of my absolutely favourite songs from the soundtrack. Listen to it! Okay everyone, that'll do it for the first part. Please keep in mind I'm splitting episode 7 in order to make it 2 actual halves. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed yourself, hit the subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss out in the second half. You can also show your appreciation with a like. If you're really appreciating the work I do entirely alone on both channels, you can also visit my Patreon link down below and pledge whatever you want and in return get loads of rewards. Again though, thanks so much for watching and I genuinely hope you enjoyed yourselves. And of course, I'll see you in the second half. Nathan Burr, Bird Without a Word, Arias Alibari, Aidan White, PK Fan, Ali 50, Ryan Anderson, Isael Caldera, Arman Jasuja, Chris Harris, Jonas Stahl, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Luis Hernandez, Joe W, Yuki Ali, Manuel Morales, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Sentimento, Jaffa 6263, Silva, Master Tank, Boogie, MD McVeigh, Aurora, Kevin Nauta, Stefio, Brendan Kriya, Storm 970, Spirit Spinner, Mr. Waffle 64, Theodore Quackens, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Gabby Z, Humye, Crimson Shadows, Forian, Kyle Farmer, Buzzbomb 3000, Jaffa 6263.